You used to shower every day without thinking. The water would warm, you'd step in, let it run down your back, and move through the motions like you always had. It wasn't just hygiene, it was habit. It was your ritual. But then something changed. One morning, you reached to wash your leg, and for just a second, your balance shifted. Your foot slipped. You caught yourself, barely. But in that moment, you felt something you hadn't felt in years. Fear. Not of the water, not of the fall, but fear of what it meant. That your body, this familiar thing you've lived inside your whole life, was starting to hesitate. And you realized something no one talks about. After 70, the most ordinary routines become the ones that ask the deepest questions. You stepped out slowly, toweled off, and sat on the edge of the bed, wondering how something so basic suddenly felt so complicated. You'd grown up hearing the same thing everyone did. You should bathe daily, stay clean, stay fresh, stay respectable. And for decades, you followed that rule like scripture. But now your skin is thinner, your knees stiffer, your energy more precious, and what used to be cleansing is sometimes just exhausting. You didn't tell anyone. You didn't want to sound dramatic. But deep down, you started wondering, is this really helping me, or quietly hurting me? So you paid attention to your skin, your mood, your breath afterward, and slowly, the first truth revealed itself. 1. Daily showers after 70 can damage your skin. Nobody told you that. No one explained how your body stops producing natural oils, how hot water strips away what little protection remains, how soap, especially the strong kind you used your whole life, can actually make you more vulnerable to dryness, to infection, to slow healing. You thought that itchy patch was nothing, that redness just part of age, but it wasn't. It was your body asking for mercy, for adjustment, for care. Then came another realization. 2. The more tired you are, the more dangerous bathing becomes, because after 70, the fall doesn't happen like in the movies. It's subtle, quick, and sometimes silent. Just one missed grip, one small lean the wrong way, and suddenly the routine becomes the incident. You thought you were being lazy by skipping a day or two, but maybe you were being wise, listening, not quitting. This isn't about stopping, it's about adapting, about seeing bathing not as a rule, but as a relationship with the body you have now, not the one you had at 40. You wrote a small note on the pad beside your sink. Don't rush, the water will wait, but your bones won't. And with that, you began bathing differently, not less, just more intentionally. Later in the video, you'll uncover how bathing affects not just your body, but your memory, your emotions, and your ability to feel connected to the person you see in the mirror. Final image. He sits at the edge of a bed, water running in the bathroom behind him, towel in hand, thoughtful but calm. You didn't mean to skip the next one. It just didn't happen. Your back was sore. You felt a little dizzy, and the idea of lifting your leg over the tub felt heavier than it should have. So you said, tomorrow. But tomorrow came, and you skipped again. Then 3 days passed, then 5, and that's when something unexpected happened. Not to your skin, but to your mind. You started feeling cloudy, forgetful, slower to speak, slower to decide. The words were there, but they came through fog. You forgot where you left your socks, forgot what day it was, even forgot whether you'd eaten lunch. It scared you. You thought, is this memory loss? Is something wrong with me? But the deeper truth came quietly. You hadn't just skipped bathing, you'd skipped touch. Here's what most people never talk about. 3. Bathing stimulates your brain through sensory input. Warmth, water, scent, rhythm. All of it lights up the parts of your mind that keep you alert, oriented, and emotionally balanced. When you stop bathing regularly, or when it becomes a rushed chore instead of a gentle ritual, your brain receives less input, and less input means less clarity. You started testing it. One morning, you didn't take a full shower. You just filled a small basin, dipped a cloth in warm water, pressed it to your face, washed your hands, your feet, behind your neck. You didn't break a sweat. You didn't even undress fully, but something inside you lit back up. Your breathing deepened. Your hands stopped trembling. Your mood lifted. It wasn't the soap. It was the attention. You wrote a line that day in your notebook. Clean skin isn't just comfort, it's clarity. And the more you tended to yourself, gently, slowly, in whatever way the day allowed, the more your brain came home. You also noticed something else. On the days you skipped too long, your temper shortened. You got irritated, sad, withdrawn. And it wasn't about smell. It wasn't about being dirty. It was about disconnection. 4. When your body goes untouched, your spirit starts to feel forgotten. You start to disappear in your own life. Not because anyone has neglected you, but because you've stopped touching your own existence. Even the smallest acts, running warm water over your hands, brushing your feet, wiping your shoulders, are quiet ways of saying, I'm still here, I still matter, I still belong in this body. It's not about how many times a week. It's about not letting yourself go invisible in the mirror you used to greet without fear. And when you reconnect with that reflection, even once, the fog starts to lift. Later in the video, we'll explore why overbathing can also backfire, stripping away protection your skin and immunity rely on, and quietly making your body more vulnerable. You thought you were doing the right thing, keeping clean, scrubbing thoroughly, washing every day, sometimes twice, because isn't that what they always taught? But lately, you've started noticing things. Your skin, once strong and smooth, now tears too easily. Red spots on your back, rashes in the folds of your arms. Even your scalp itches after a wash. And the lotions don't seem to help like they used to. At first, you blamed age, then maybe the water, then maybe the soap. But deep down, you began to wonder, what if it's the bathing itself? And that's when you found the truth that no one talks about. 5. Overbathing after 70 can quietly damage your skin, nerves, and immune response. Because after 70, your skin isn't just older, it's thinner, drier, and slower to heal. That daily hot water, that bar of soap you've trusted for decades, it strips away the protective oils your body can no longer replenish quickly. So instead of feeling refreshed, your skin starts to sting, crack, inflame. What you thought was feeling clean was actually your body crying out for mercy. You switched to cooler water, washed less, and something shifted. Your skin stopped flaking. Your feet stopped cracking. Your hands no longer felt like paper. You were doing less, but healing more, because you finally stopped trying to scrub away your age like it was dirt. Then came something you hadn't expected. You got sick less often. It was subtle. A few months passed, and you realized. No colds, no odd rashes, no infections. Because your skin, your largest immune organ, was no longer under attack from your own routine. You wrote in your notebook, I'm not here to be spotless. I'm here to be safe. And the more you honored that, the more peace you felt walking through your own bathroom. You didn't need to rush. You didn't need to prove anything. You needed to listen. And maybe that's what this is really about. Not washing for someone else's standard, but learning how to care for your body at the stage it's in now. Not the one you remember, not the one you miss, the one you wake up in today. The There's nothing wrong with wanting to feel fresh, but your body now has different needs, and honoring those needs doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Later in the video, you'll uncover how fear and pride keep many seniors from bathing at all, how the silence around this topic is quietly stealing health, dignity, and connection from millions. You didn't mean to go that long. At first, it was just a day or two. Your back hurt. You were tired. You told yourself it could wait. But then the fear crept in. Quiet, steady, like the chill in a bathroom you forgot to heat. You looked at the tub and thought, what if I can't get back out? What if I fall and no one knows? What if I slip and this is how it ends, naked, hurt, alone? And just like that, you started avoiding the water, not because you didn't care, but because your pride didn't know how to ask for help. 6. Most seniors who stop bathing aren't lazy. They're afraid, silently, deeply, and with no one to tell. No one teaches you how to say, I'm scared of falling. I'm embarrassed to undress in front of someone. I'm not sure if I can manage this anymore. So instead of asking, you delay, you skip it, you ignore the mirror, you spray a little cologne and move on. But what you're really doing is disappearing, one day at a time. You thought needing help would feel like surrender, but it didn't. It felt like relief. The day you finally placed a stool in the shower, the day you held a grab bar without shame, the day someone you trust helped you wash your back with patience instead of pity. That wasn't weakness. That was healing. You wrote it down that night. I haven't failed by asking for help. I've only failed when I convinced myself I had to do it alone. It's hard though, because bathing is private. It's intimate. It's the last thing most people want to hand over. And that's why so many suffer in silence. Because pride keeps the fear buried right where it hurts the most. But you've learned something powerful. The first time someone helps you bathe, you feel vulnerable. The second time, you feel seen. By the third, you don't just feel cleaner, you feel reconnected. To your body, to another human being, to the version of you that still deserves to feel safe. You are not a burden. You are not broken. You are not done. And the sooner you choose dignity over pride, the more life you open back up for yourself. Because you don't lose independence when you ask for help. You protect it. Later in the video, we'll bring it all home with the final truth. How bathing, even once or twice a week, becomes an act of sacred routine, a reminder that you still matter, to yourself most of all. This morning, you did something you haven't done in a long time. You bathed, not just your body, but your spirit. It wasn't fast, it wasn't fancy, it wasn't perfect, but it was yours. You turned on the water, you stepped in slowly, you breathed deeply, and for once, you didn't rush. You let the water speak, not with noise, but with presence. You weren't just washing, you were returning to your skin, to your bones, to the version of you that still matters, not because you're productive, but because you're present. You sat on the bench, let the warm water run down your legs. You didn't panic, you didn't perform, you didn't prove anything. And when it was done, you didn't just feel clean, you felt clear. You wrapped yourself in a soft towel, looked at your reflection, and this time, you didn't look away. You didn't focus on the wrinkles, or the sagging skin, or the grey. You looked into your own eyes, eyebrow to eyebrow, line to line, memory to memory. And what you saw wasn't someone fading. It was someone still here, still worthy, still dignified, still deserving of care. You sat down, opened the notebook, the one that started with fear, and on the last page, you wrote something soft, but strong. A bath is not where life ends. It's where presence begins. And if I honor that every few days, I haven't disappeared. I've chosen to stay. So how often should seniors bathe after 70? As often as the body needs, and as gently as the soul deserves. That might mean twice a week. That might mean every 3 days. It might mean a full soak, or just a quiet sponge wipe at the edge of the bed. But it always means one thing. You are still worthy of being touched, even if it's by your own hands. And that is something no number can define. If this story made you pause, if it helped you feel more human, more seen, more whole, please consider subscribing. Because here, we don't just talk about hygiene, we talk about honoring who you still are, even after the world stops asking.